Hi, my name is Patrick. I'm interviewing for marketing sales role for Aura. Thank you for your time to interview me.
Yeah, thank you, Patrick. My name is Tommy. I'm the VP of Marketing here at Ring. And the first question I'd really love to ask you is, could you please describe a goal that you managed to achieve either in business or in school?
I do have one. This goes far back to 3 years ago. It was my first year in America. I was overwhelmed by clubs. For example, I was a president of two clubs, and also all my classes because I was trying so hard to maintain a high GPA in my community college. I wanted to get a marketing officer job, and which only had two spots at a time because I really wanted to have some hands-on experience with marketing, which is something that I was really passionate about. It was my first time applying for a job. I was really nervous. I was frustrated. I didn't know what to do. I tried my best to apply for it, and I went to the first interview, but I got rejected. So then I got really sad because I was like really I didn't know what to do at all and what to expect. So I cleared my mind. I set my goal is to get the job eventually in my 2 years left in the community college. So I set my task really straightforward, and I took a lot of actions to follow up. For example, I did a lot of networking at school with students who are in the position, and I updated my resume, and also I practiced a lot of communication and with interviewing skills with my friends and also my professors. And like at the end, I got the job in my second interview.
Oh, well, I'm happy to hear that. Can you tell me a bit more about the personal results you got out of that experience?
Oh yes, there's some key takeaways from the result. Um, like getting into the job in my second attempt, like entire second cycle, it actually requires like a year of preparation for me. So what my takeaway from that experience was to set a high goal, because when you set a high goal and you actually work towards it, your gratification will be like a lot more rewarding after you actually achieve it. And the second one would be not giving up. So there's a lot of moment where I was like, oh, a lot of friends of mine, they're not even applying for job on campus. So why am I doing that? I'm very busy. I have like tons of things on hand. But being able to not give up and try harder and harder makes you more successful in the future. And also, the third thing I would say is always smile and have a positive attitude. Because every time you apply for something, you never know the result. But if you be positive about it, you actually get it. And yeah, and that's the energy attitude that builds up. And yeah, it's really good helping you in the future, I believe.
Nice. Well, I'm glad it was a good learning experience for you. What do you say we pick this up in a follow-up interview next Friday?
That would be great. Thank you.
All right.
Hi, Patrick. Hi, Tommy. It was so good to hear your good story. Thank you so much for letting me listen in. So, first off, Patrick, I just wanted to say I think you did really well going through the STAR method for your good story. How would you say this went for you?
I would say thank you very much. I do think content-wise, I nailed it, but the only thing that I think could have won better is the second half where I stutter a lot because I was really nervous. So yeah.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Maybe a possible solution to this problem is having a bulleted list and going over it really slowly before the interview, possibly having a drink of water just to ease the nerves, because I know that it can be nerve-wracking to be in front of an interviewer. And then you can end your story a little bit more strong with that practice. Um, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, totally. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. And Stephen, what kind of feedback do you have for Tommy?
Yeah, thank you, Kiana. So, Tommy, I really appreciate that you've asked follow-up questions regarding Patrick's great story. Um, the results and key takeaway you required from him really sparks his, really let his answer stood out, and I appreciate that. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I appreciated the questions I asked. I thought those were strong enough, but I do feel like I could have brought a little bit more energy to the interview to try to make him feel a bit more comfortable with the whole situation.
I agree with that. I noticed that when interviewing, you did a little bit nodding like this, but what I would suggest is that when he talked about a great point of his achievements, you could do a deeper nodding, like slower nodding to express that you're listening to him and make him a little bit more comfortable. Does that sound good?
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point of feedback.
Yeah, overall,
Well,
thank you guys. And just to add on to what Stephen just said, active listening is super important. Smiling, you did really good on that. Just keep maybe add a few yeses and make sure that he understands that you are understanding everything that he's saying.
Sounds good.
Thank you both.
Thank
thank
you for your
you.
time.
Okay. Hello, my name is Steven, and I'm interviewing for the position as an analyst for Microsoft.
Hi, Stephen. My name is Kiana, and I'm a recruiter here at Microsoft. So, first, Stephen, do you mind telling me about a story or an experience of when you've overcome an obstacle and how you've overcame it?
Yes, several years ago, I dropped off from a college because of health issues. Aside from taking medical treatments, I didn't know where to go as I was a college dropout. When I finally recovered and tried to find a job, it was like bumping into a thick wall. A lot of companies that I applied to didn't even give me opportunities to have interviews, even if I applied to low skilled positions like customer service and English translator. The constant rejections I caught me good, but I knew I had to step up and just gotta keep trying. I had my friends and family hang out with me to transfer focus when I was overtly frustrated. And in the meantime, I went over all job seeking tools I know to send out my resume. So after a while, I managed to find two part-time jobs to foster my experience. And then 6 months later, I finally found a job as an advertising specialist. So I think that's the biggest obstacle and frustration I've overcome ever.
Thank you, Stephen, for sharing. Can you tell me about what are some key takeaways you had in that experience?
Yes, thank you for asking this clarifying question. My takeaway is that there is always ups and downs in our lives, and finding the right way to deal with those downs is crucial. I had the support of the people around me, and I know when to consult them. I've also learned that if you don't give up, there will be certain degree of return in the end. Well, not necessarily the best return, but the one that gives you enough motivation to carry on in your life. In my case, the advertising specialist job sparked my interest in business, and I ended up in UW Foster School of Business. Well, I know Microsoft is a highly competitive company, and there would be tons and tons of challenges awaiting me if I had the opportunity to work here. But I'm pretty confident that my grit I developed from this past experience was able to power me through all the tough situations. And my perseverance can be a valuable asset to the Microsoft team.
Thank you, Stephen, for sharing your experience with me and some of the takeaways you've had from it. But yes, I will be contacting you next Wednesday and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, Kiana, Stephen, thank you so much for letting Patrick and I listen in on your interview. First thing for you, Stephen, I really love the way that you told your story throughout this interview. It was really easy for me to sort of follow the beats of how you went through this process. Do you have any other personal thoughts on how you did it?
Yeah, first off, thank you for the compliment. I noticed that one thing I could improve on is that I could have gone deeper into the results. The thing I learned is pretty important, how I overcome my obstacles. So I think addressing that in the first part of my question would help the interviewer understand my story and myself better.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that the result could have been a little bit more expanded, could have gone a little bit more in depth into that. And that's something that'll definitely just come with a lot of practice, as we all need. Does that all sound good to you?
Absolutely. I need a lot of practices. Yes.
Great. And then, Patrick, did you have anything to add for Kiana?
Yes, I want to start with saying I really love your attitudes. The interview feel really welcoming, and you were listening the whole time because I see you nodding. Do you think you have something that you want to improve on, or you could have done better?
Yeah, definitely. I had the questions in mind. It was just when it came out verbally, I had some brief pauses that could have gone a lot more smoothly than I would have hoped.
Um, Great. I think you did a really good job, but I did notice a little bit stuttering, but it's not that bad. I feel like next time you can maybe practice at home. Maybe you can look in the mirror and kind of repeat yourself like slowly and talk to yourself and ask like through those questions. And also kind of stretch around, be relaxed, more relaxed. You're the interviewer, you have the power, you know? Yeah. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, thank you so much, Patrick, for listening. I really appreciate the coaching.
Okay, thank you.